friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be setting up my bullet journal spread for 2022 and I'm super excited about this. I think that this is just a video that we all anticipate all the time, and I think there's just this excitement and this beauty in opening up a new bullet journal and being able to just come up with new spreads for the new year. So I think it really signifies just new possibilities, a new journey and new beginnings, and I'm just super excited about that. I just hope that you guys enjoy this setup, and this is actually going to be my second year of bullet journaling. I think time just flew past in 2021, so I'm just really excited to see what I have in store for 2022. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. So for the year of 2022, I'm going to be sticking to the notebook therapy, so I'm using this bullet journal from them. It comes in this beautiful white box with gold details on it. The bullet journal that I got is from their autumn collection. I got this beautiful orange box design, so this is just a velvet finish, which I think is really nice. Of course, the sleeping fog on the cover page just makes everything super cute and super pretty. The spine of the book has this really nice crescent moon with leaves. The back of it just says notebook therapy and has the same crescent moon with leaves as well. I'm using the same A5 size book as previously, and I just feel the size works for me. It's big enough for me to write everything down and not too big such that it's difficult to carry around. It comes with two bookmarks, which I really like because I always like to use one bookmark for my read spacing spread and the next bookmark is of course for my weekly spreads. A little quote as well. It also comes with a little bookmark as well. It's a tiny fox with a little crescent moon in the middle of its head, which is similar to the fox on the cover page. I'm going to put it here to accompany me for the rest of the setting up. I got this book during the Black Friday sale at Notebook Therapy, and I got their autumn washi tape as well. I'm going to be using these two during my setup, and I'm actually going to be using a mix of washi tapes from the washi tape shop, Archer and Olive, and the Notebook Therapy. I'm using these colors, and I tried to use a mixture of colors and incorporating some vibrant colors as well so that the spreads will look really nice and cheerful. Okay, so finally moving on to my setup for 2022. On the front page, I'm just gonna be lettering my name in simple cursive font, and I'm going to be utilizing this font as well throughout my entire setup for 2022. My name page is just going to be super simple because it's not something that I look at every day. Also, I'm using the little stickers that I got from the washi tape shop as well. I feel like the flower stickers from the washi tape shop really fit in. Moving on to writing out 2022, this is something that I really try to do at the start of every bullet journal just because I feel that this heralds the start of a new book. This time around, I'm deciding to color in 2022 on the right hand side, and I'm using my acrylograph to color it in, and I think this is Times New Roman fonts. I really enjoy this kind of font style, so I've been using it even in my January setup, which hopefully I will be able to get up before January itself, but knowing me, I can't really give any promises yet. But I'm just coloring it in, and given that the acrylographs that I buy are of the 0.7mm size, it was getting a little bit tedious, but I think for the end result, all in all, it was worth it. For 2022, I feel like I want to kind of step away from just simply explaining what I'm doing for the particular spread, and to step away from that and to just make casual conversations as well about my life, and just to give something more insightful as well, I guess, so that I get to know you guys better and you guys get to know me better as well. And I think that the past year of me trying to record my voice and appearing in videos is something that is really out of my comfort zone, because being an introvert and all, I'm really just not used to kind of talking to strangers. So yeah, that's just something that I'm really still trying to get used to and to just get better at. And hopefully 2022 will be the year that I finally get comfortable with talking and with appearing on camera, and I guess at the same time to not be so self-conscious of how I appear or how I think I portray myself to be. Just going back to the spreads for a while, I'm just doing this little floral illustration on the left hand side, and I'm just switching between my different acrylograph colors just so that the entire spread will just be super colorful and super vibrant. And the reason why I decided to let the left hand side be more colorful is because I wanted the right hand side to just be solely the 2022 numbers there, just so that it will really just draw the attention to that area. And I must say that I really enjoyed setting up my 2022 bullet journal. I just feel so happy at being able to see the progress from, setting up my bullet journal at the start of 2021, where I was mostly lost, did not know what spreads I wanted to do, did not know how I wanted to go about doing it, and improving slightly in July when I started setting up my bullet journal for the second half of the year, all the way to now when I am kind of more sure of what I want to include in my bullet journal. And I just think that just being able to make all these videos and being able to look back by myself for some self-reflection is just something that's so valuable as well, especially since there are times when I feel like I'm not improving or when I feel like I'm second-guessing myself. It's just really nice to be able to look back and see just how far I've come. And I decided to include a quote as usual for the entire year, kind of make it a theme for the new year. So it says, "And now we welcome the new year, full of things that have never been." And I think this is just a very nice quote to have, just because it kind of makes you more excited of the new year, and it just helps me to anticipate the new year even more, because I think waiting for 2022, I just don't really have much to look forward to in my opinion, and just not really sure what's in store for me in 2022. So when I came across this quote on Pinterest, and I just thought that it was quite appropriate for how I was feeling, and having this quote to look at just helps me to realize that there are always better things ahead. So moving on to my grid spacing, this is something that I just copied over from my previous bullet journals because it kind of worked for me, and I really found myself going back to my grid spacing whenever I come up with a new spread. So once again, I'm using my same acrylograph pens, and then I'm just going to be doing a simple floral illustration. My grid spacings are always pretty simple in terms of the design because I just don't really want to disrupt the entire thing too much. It's honestly just a more informative spread than an artsy spread. And yeah, I just want to say also that I just am really excited for 2022 and where this channel will be going in 2022. I feel like there is just so much in store for this channel, and I think growth takes time, and I am just really excited to see where this channel is headed in 2022, and I'm really excited to see what kind of new spreads and designs I have planned in 2022. I am also doing a painting on the right hand side, and it's just a little quote page. It's just because I want to balance out the lack of design from my grid spacing, so it's just a little painting on the right hand side. So moving on to the next spread, it's my future log, and I'm just going to be doing something super simple as well. And I realized that when I set up my bullet journal last year, I actually put aside more space for my 12 months. So I did 6 months on one side and 6 months on the other, and I realized that I actually didn't really utilize all the spaces, especially so because I moved to a second bullet journal for my second half of the year. So I realized I didn't need so much space, so what I did was to just put it all on one page this time round, and it was also easier because there was lesser things to set up. I forgot to add that I'm also using my Stabilo highlighters because the colors that I have are also the same pastel bright color, and it really fits quite nicely, so I just decided to include those as well. So moving on to my goals page, if you guys saw my 2021 flip through video, then you would have known that I actually didn't really like the dreams and goals page that I did last year. I felt that the goals that I set up for myself were just a bit too unmanageable, in the sense that the goals that I set up were things that were out of my control, and it just made me feel really demoralized, and as a result I kind of avoided that spread entirely. So for 2022, the goals that I'm going to be setting up are going to be things that are are within my control, things that I am able to work towards. So later you'll be able to see that I'm going back to my goals spread and coming up with the goals, so you'll be able to see what I mean. So when I set up my goals for 2022, I made sure that there were two things. One is that there were things that were within my control, and two, it was also things that were quantifiable. So for example, instead of saying just exercise more, I'm gonna change it to exercise twice a week, something like that, just so that I'll be able to see if I have actually achieved the goal or just need to be a little bit more specific and a little bit more quantifiable. So I'm gonna after that translate the goals that I have for the entire year into my habit trackers. So that's something that I'm trying to do for the rest of the months in 2022. So for my personal goal, it is to read 7 books this year. I actually really enjoyed reading when I was a kid, and I just think it's something magical about being transported into the story itself. So that's why I just want to get back into reading more in 2022. These are the goals that I have, and I may be adding on more. What are your goals for 2022? Do comment down below, because I am interested to know what you guys' goals are, and also to just kind of gain inspiration in the event that maybe the goals that you guys have are goals that I would like to have as well. So do comment them down below. So moving on to my last 2 spreads. One of these spreads are new, and that's the books to read, and this is in line with my goals for 2022, which is to read more. These spread layouts are actually really similar to what I've set up for the second half of the year last year as well, and these are just books to read, shows to watch, and I'm gonna split them up into a few columns, and basically what they're just gonna include is basically the title of the book and the show, and also when I started reading the book as well as when I finished reading the book, just to see how long it took me to finish it. Because knowing me, I'm such a big procrastinator, I feel like I need a timeline to motivate me. And for my shows spread, I decided to change up the columns a little bit from last year. So I decided to include a column called seasons, and this is because there are many shows that I watch whose seasons are not totally out yet. So I just want to kind of keep track of which seasons I've actually watched and which ones I haven't watched yet, just so that I can kind of keep abreast of all the shows that are coming out. God knows that I love Netflix, and I love just watching shows all the time, and I especially love watching shows when I set up my spreads. It's just something that I keep on the side, and I love sitcoms so much, so I just replay the sitcom over and over again when I'm setting up my bullet journal, and it's just something that I find therapeutic and something that I honestly look forward to all the time. I'm just coloring in these kind of splotches of paint and then just drawing plants over it as well, just to keep in line with the entire theme as well. So yeah, I think my bullet journal for 2022 is off to a good start. I really enjoyed coming up with all of these spreads, and they are all just so colorful. I'm really excited to see what is in store for me in 2022, and I hope that it just brings new opportunities and that I will be able to finally meet some goals in 2022. I just hope that it will be better to all of us, especially since the last 2 years have been more difficult. So I really hope that 2022 just brings about new opportunities and just new experiences as well. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video as well. I hope that you enjoyed the little setup process, and if you guys did, definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. It will mean the world to me. And since I'm filming this on Christmas Day, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you again. Bye!